Hello, this is Katie from Crafting Ruby Dreams, and welcome to my channel. It is Labor Day in the United States, September 5th, 2022, and I've got a lot going on. Today, I am trying to take it a bit easy. I have been once again experiencing some foot issues, so fun times. I'm very happy because I finally got both studio lights set up. So I am very pleased by this because it's supposed to be raining soon here where I'm at. And that would be very dark. So I am really liking the look. No, I do not want to reload the site. Cancel. There we go. I am really looking forward to having both of these lights, and it looks like a fairly decent lighting situation. Means that I will be able to do some live streams as necessary for my schedule. So that's what we're about today is my schedule for the next 3 months and planning for that, as well as not only the things that I'm doing, my energy, and making sure I am accomplishing my main goal that I want to accomplish over the course of the next 3 months. So let's start off with the very first thing. And this is something I honestly thought about until today, just ADHD, time blindness, and not quite fully realizing that this thing is happening tomorrow. And what that means. I'm like, yeah, the 6th. Yeah, it's like things gonna happen on the 6th. As I was working on one thing, it's just like, yeah, the 6th is tomorrow. It's tomorrow. So you be prepared to do stuff. So yeah, fun times. So September 6th, and what that means and what this event is at the Descent Anthology. It's a charity anthology to support organizations that reproductive rights, especially here in the United States. That anthology is going live tomorrow. So that is a monster anthology with new stories from over plus authors. I am in under my soon-to-be retired pen name, and it just came at the perfect time. That it was just as I was thinking what my writing career is going as, and what I wanted to do, and I want to handle moving to a new pen and closing out the old pen name. Once I got the invitation to participate in this anthology, it's like, this is perfect. This is going to kind of, at least for me, have a sense of closure as to the previous pen name. And so what I did was write a second blog for the last story I published. And it's good. It's good. I actually writing it. I enjoyed revisiting the original story. It was a very good sense of closure. So free to message me privately or what that pen name is. You can do that on Instagram. I am asking Ruby Dreams over there. I'm always happy to share messages. What the pen name. I am very proud of myself to a degree for how well I've managed to keep my names separate. That is for reasons and family reasons that I had to keep those names separate. So it has, good. Thank you for this. You're very echo. I'm thinking it just might be the set of my part today, but let me move my keyboard out of the way and move the mic in front of me. I did get from somebody that the position of the microphone was it would allow more sound straight up versus yeah, I don't actually have another computer on. This is interesting. Let me switch my earbuds and give me. I'm gonna have to go off screen to get those. thank you very, very much for this heads. I try to have good sound. Fun times. Let's see. Okay, can you all hear me? I have set up the microphone on my desktop, on the laptop. Can you hear me? You can hear you. Okay. We'll just go with, I can't tell if the AirPods microphones were working or not. It said it was, but I switched over to the laptop's microphone. We will see. So I apologize that the good microphone for some reason was acting weird. I get the lighting situation sorted and then the audio situation goes wonky. So, all right. So happy to see all of you again here at Talk. I appreciate you sticking all with me. So this is fun. So I have ADHD. I don't remember where I was going with all of this. Oh, Descent Anthology. That is what I was talking about. So again, Descent Anthology is an anthology of over 150 authors, brand new stories, and they're going to be short stories. The call was for stories between 2,000 words and 10,000 words. My story ended up being about 4,000 words. So I am very happy about it. I think it's a good story. I think it's a very solid story. It is also very reliant on some knowledge of the previous story, but I also think I was able to set it up in a way that those who have not read the novella that it is a second epilogue to should hopefully be able to still enjoy the course of the story in the anthology. So that is releasing tomorrow. The ebook is $10, I believe, and I do have a link in the description if you would like to pre-order it. There are going to be 3 paperbacks because, again, over 150 plus stories, and just there's no way that you would be able to have all 150 stories in a paperback that is not a humongous monster size. The only time I have seen anthologies with probably about that many stories is huge hardbacks in terms of binding. And those are like, you have to have a massive monster print run in order to have them be at all financially feasible. So, I am guessing this is an anthology that I was in before called Rogue Affair. You can see how fat it is. And Julia, she's asking which story is it an epilogue to. Go ahead and DM me on, you have many ways of contacting me. So go ahead and message me and I will let you know. But it is like I said, if you are interested in finding out more information, you can, if you don't already have other ways to contact me the way Julia does, because we are friends, you can DM me on Instagram at Crafting Ruby Dreams, and I am happy to share privately so as to not directly connect the names. And but yeah, so I'm guessing this is probably going to be about the size of what the paperbacks are going to be in each. I will give you a clue as to what the name is, my name. And that is because I will be in the second volume, which is for the most part broken up alphabetically by authors' first names. So I will be in volume 2. And it is something I'm very proud to have participated in, even beyond all of the giving me some personal closure with regards to the pen name. I am very proud to have been asked to participate in this anthology because reproductive rights is something I very, very much believe in. And I actually, the novella that this is a second epilogue to, I did not realize until I reread it how deeply I had threaded through the personal journey, thought process of the female main character in that novella about whether or not she wanted to have kids. That was a very serious thing for her. And so what I did was I took that journey in the novella and in the second epilogue, I took her to, she is at a point of decision, and it just kind of full on realization. Okay, this is an absolute decision for me. I want to take steps to make the decision happen. So very much in theme for what Descent is about. It is not necessary. It was not necessary for participating authors to write a story incorporating reproductive rights at all. That was something I did choose to do. So I am very happy for that. Again, ebook is $9.99. I don't know how much the paperbacks are going to be. I think you're going to get a wonderful value for $9.99. Getting the ebook is get all 150 authors plus authors. And the other thing with regards to this is if you are interested in auctions, there is also going to be an associated auction starting on September 8th, which is Thursday. And I personally have donated a Zoom chat to talk about anything for 1 hour. It's like if you want to talk about starting a YouTube channel, if you're a writer, if you want to talk about what it's like to go through burnout and dealing with burnout, which I have been very open about talking on this channel. If you want to talk about rebooting your writing career, like the fact I am planning on starting a new pen name next year, and or if you just want to talk about starting your publishing career, those are just some topic ideas. I'm happy to talk for an hour about anything with you if you choose to bid on that particular item. There are a lot of other really cool things. If you are a fan of Katie Roberts, she is offering up an annotated copy of the next book in the Dark Olympus series, which is Radiant Sin. And if you're a writer, Brighton Walsh has donated 3 hours of her time to help be your TikTok buddy and help you get started with doing TikTok. So there are a lot of really, really wonderful things that are up for auction in this auction. And again, all proceeds will go to help fund organizations supporting reproductive rights. So that is the first thing on my schedule for September. The next thing is actually planning related, because I know I've mentioned before, and I think many of you probably know this by now, but if you don't, I am an affiliate for Moxie Life, and the Moxie Life affiliate call is happening next Monday. So I'm really looking forward to that, because I'm hoping we're going to get some more definitive information as to when they are having their launch release for 2023 planners. And items. They've already said that it's going to be sometime in October, but there's no specific date yet. So I'm really looking forward to getting some hard information for what's coming in 2023 from Moxie Life, as well as trying to figure out when to do some videos about this, because I am going to try to do actual edited videos, which I haven't done in a while, because honestly, editing takes up a huge portion of my time. I really love being here on YouTube and being here with all of y'all, which is why I've started doing the live streams. But doing the edited videos was taking up too much time, especially with wanting to spend more time writing again. So that's one of the reasons why I chose to do the live streams. It was, I don't edit these. And so I cut out a significant portion of time in order to make content available for all of you. And so thank you so much for everybody who joins us here on the lives and who is talking in the comments in the chat. I so appreciate you. And I actually was talking in a Slack group yesterday with some author friends about doing the YouTube channel. And one of the people in the Slack channel came and checked out the channel and watched one of the lives and said, you know, it's so cool that people are commenting live during your live streams. I'm like, yeah, I love it. I think it's so much fun. And I really, really do appreciate all of the questions and everything that y'all share. And again, letting me know that the audio was not great for you. That is just gold for me. And so thank you so much for participating in these live streams, because it means a lot to me, and it means a lot to others who find the channel and they see that there is an engaged community. And so thank you to all of you for helping make this a fun and cool experience for people who watch these live streams later. So yes, Moxie Life affiliate calls next Monday. So hopefully later in September, early October, I should be having some videos, either live streams or edited videos up about what's coming in 2023 for the Moxie Lifeline. All right. Next up in my schedule is the Toronto romance writers. They are having their conference. It's an annual conference. It's called the Northern Hearts Conference. I actually attended maybe the first one. I think it was the first one way back in 2018. And it happened to be the same weekend as Sarah Cannon launched her HB90 boot camp. So I was doing both of those at the same time. It was very interesting. And I was also not prepared for the heavy emotional load that I was dealing with back at home for some things that were happening at the same time. So the reason I signed up for attending this conference, I am not going up to Toronto. They are, for the first time since 2019, offering an in-person option for the conference. I am not going up to Toronto for it. I am staying home here in DC, and I am doing the entire conference virtually. All of the main conference things are going, like all of the speakers and workshops, all of that stuff is going to be offered virtually this year. So that is, I think, really great. So no matter where in the world you are, you can take advantage of these wonderful workshops, and a lot of really, really fabulous speakers like Courtney Milan, Katie Robert. I think Jackie Lau is also going to be one of the speakers. I am blanking on who else. I meant to do a printout. Actually, I think I have a printout sitting in my printer in the other room. So, but again, that's another thing that I have linked. I am a member of Toronto Romance Writers. I'm a distance member, so I take advantage of their virtual options as they make them available. And they're very thoughtful about making them available, because while I am a distance member in the United States, they have a ton of distance members in Canada. So they're, like I said, they're in Toronto, but they have members who are in Alberta, who are in Vancouver, who cannot routinely make in-person things. So I think it's really cool that they do make those options available. I'm not sure. I'm sure that they're going to have recordings available. I am not sure how long they will make them available to conference attendees who are not members, but I'm sure you can always email the conference committee and ask. They're very wonderful. So I'm actually going to move this question from Julie off since I'm past that. And I was just really looking forward to the slate of speakers that they had available. And that is going to be on, I need to pull up a calendar just so I can reference all of these. The 16th, September 16th to the 18th, but I think the bulk of the programming for virtually, there's going to be like a masterclass on Friday, September 16th, I believe in the evening, and then all day on Saturday, the 17th. So if you go to the website, it will have the schedule listed there. So that's only half. So all of those things only get me halfway through September. After that, in October, I have Holly Darling is a romance author who her day job, so my day job is being a librarian. Her day job is helping small businesses do business plans and business management, or at least planning for business management. She works for a government agency, or at least has worked for a government agency doing this kind of work. So she also offers a mastermind course for authors, and it's just called Business Mastermind for Authors. Holly's specialty is doing email marketing. That's the thing that she is most passionate about. So while she has offered this business mastermind for authors for, I think this is the 4th year that she has offered it, this particular session that starts October 4th is the very last one that will do a whole business overview. All of the future iterations of this course are going to be focused on email marketing. So if you are interested in developing a strategic business plan for yourself, thinking about things like, I think incorporation, let me pull up the email, because again, I had printed out this email, and why does this screen keep wanting to go off? So just trying to get an email where this is going to be. So thank you. And I was somewhat prepared, and then things went wonky. Let's see. So this is what Holly shared in her email to, I'm not an alumni. I've not been through the course yet. This is what I'll be going through in October. But she did make an offer to alumni of the course and those who were registered as of last week. She has offered us a coupon code to pass on to others for this October course. And if you do use it, the coupon code is in the description. She will be emailing you to ask you who gave you that code. So my full name is in the description. So please feel free to let her know that I gave you that code. What that will do is that for every person who uses that code, I will get 15 minutes of her consulting time as a reward. Thank you for passing on the code and having somebody, it's like a referral link type of thing. So, and yeah, sorry, I'll get 30 minutes, not 15. 15 was going to be good. 30 minutes is even better. So, and it's worth a fair amount. So, if you're at all interested, please consider signing up and using that coupon code. But these are the things that Holly will be covering in the course. She'll offer business plan templates and samples. And if you have never done a business plan before, I highly recommend taking a course from somebody who actually knows how to write a business plan. I have written business plans before. When I was in college, one of the courses I took was entrepreneurship offered by the business college of my university. And it was very rigorous. There were MBA students in that course. And the presentation that I gave for the business I wanted to create actually had a whole bunch of them going, "Oh my God, that is so cool." So I have done it before, but it's been 25 years since I took that course. So business planning and strategic planning are things that I'm very, very interested in, but I'm looking forward to working with somebody who has been doing this kind of thing more recently than I have. So like I said, she's offering up business plan templates and samples, learning how to use a business model for quick projects. So if there was, say, launching a new book, that could be an individual quick project. Learning to build a cash flow predictor for budgeting and scaling. This is so important with authors and any kind of business. You need to have an idea as to what you need for cash flow. And so I've been working on kind of like a strategic plan for myself over the next 3 years, because it's just fun. Whether or not I stick to it is a whole other thing, but I'm going to need to have an idea as to what kind of choices I will need to make in order to ensure that I have positive cash flow. And I also want to scale up my business. So what kind of investments am I going to need to invest in something like doing audiobooks or doing a large print version, all of that kind of stuff. Something else Holly will cover is learning to build a mission statement and operational plan. This is something that Zoe York talked about in Romance Your Goals, the third book in her nonfiction series. And she talked about how impactful this was for her and her business. So honestly, hearing Zoe talk about what she gained from attending Holly's Business Mastermind for Authors course was one of the things that really convinced me to sign up for the course, especially once I found out that this was the last time that Holly was going to be offering this version of this course. Learning how to build a focused marketing plan, learning to create a launch plan that is customizable. She is also offering weekly live hour-long mastermind sessions with her and whoever is in the course in October. I will be one of the people in the course in October. So you get to spend time with me. And she also has, there are modules with bonus learning content, such as PR for your business, alternative sources of revenue, email marketing for authors, and more. You also get a one-on-one of 45 minutes with Holly. And then other templates and spreadsheets for you to use. So all of that I think is really cool. And I just popped back to the StreamYard screen. So thank you all. And what am I looking to get out of the course? Like I said, it's been 25 years since I was in a course that was specifically about business planning. It's, like I said, it's something I'm particularly interested in. And I think it's something that I'm going to get a lot of energy out of and will help me solidify my vision for my business moving forward. So yes, I know what kinds of books that I want to write, but clarifying and distilling what that means, I think will help me make strategic decisions as to what to pursue and what not to pursue. So I also recommend, if you haven't already, really go check out Zoe's Romance Your Goals book, because there's, I think, a lot of mindset with regards to business management as an author that she discusses in there that I think this course will also cover. I already talked about the coupon code, so that gets me through all of October. Now, here's the other thing about September and October. I am also working to finish the book. I am about a third of the way through the book, a little under from both the way the word count has been progressing and how many chapters I've already written. And I am hoping that about mid-October to finish up the first draft. So that means being very diligent in continuing my current schedule of writing, where I draft 4 days a week. I write 4 days a week. And then 2 other days of the week, so total of 6 days that I'm working on the manuscript, I am spending time figuring out what I want to cover in the next chapter, as well as doing some light editing of the chapter I just finished. So, oh, thank you, Dee. Yeah, I just heard some grumbling outside that I think was actually a helicopter flying over me, but I wasn't sure at first if it was thunder or the helicopter. So good to know. But it is, I am really, I'm having so much fun writing the book. I think I should be able to finish the book in my projected timeline, because I think by the time I hit October, even though I'm going to have all of this coursework to be watching and to be reacting to and discussing and thinking about, I think I will have already, I'll be over that. I'll be on the downward hill side of the writing, and definitely within the book. So I'm not expecting to have a completely finished book when I finish this draft. I think this book is probably going to be a lot more polished than a lot of my previous first drafts from the process that I'm doing with regards to drafting 2 days, and then the next day or the day after, depending on if it's the weekend, editing what I wrote the previous 2 days, like very, very lightly editing. So catching some various typos and then clarifying some things that I realized need clarification. So that is more than I've done before. And honestly, it's already a lot cleaner draft than what I was writing at the beginning of the year, where I was just totally pantsing it. So this is a book that I most definitely intend to publish next year, but it's next year. I'm giving myself a lot of space to do edits, as well as also write the first drafts of the following books, because when I finally publish this first book, I want to at least have the draft, get my thoughts in order, get my words in order, because I'm going to tangle the words. I want to at least have the draft of book 2 completely finished and have started the draft of book 3, because just learning from past mistakes. And that's a lot of what this is learning from past mistakes and giving myself the first time I tried to do a lot of this stuff, I had a pretty decent foundation. I want to give myself an even better foundation for moving forward, and definitely a much more solid foundation for launching the name than I did last time. So yeah, so again, that's another reason why I'm taking the Business Mastermind for Authors, is just to make sure that I have as solid of a foundation for this new name and new phase of the writing career. At the end of October, the very last weekend of October, if you are at all in the DC area or can be in the DC area, basically Halloween weekend, the weekend before Halloween, there is going to be another large book event. Not super large like a Polycon, but definitely a lot of authors, including Brenda Jackson and Beverly Jenkins. I am so freaking excited. It is the Romance Readers and Writers Experience. So if you just do a search for RRAW experience. Again, linked below in the description. It's like, I am really looking forward to this. I am not going to be attending the full event because they're going to have some kind of like workshops and other stuff going on and entertainment. It looks like it's a lot of fun, but timing wise, I am not going to be able to attend the whole thing. So I'm just attending the free signing on Saturday afternoon because I want to say hi to Miss Brenda and Miss Beverly. It's just so cool. There are a lot of other authors, local authors, who are also attending, like Robin Covington. Again, I printed out who's going to be there so I could share. You know what? Let me just pull up the a new screen. So let's see. Here we go. Come on. Let's see. I always click on, there we are. Yes, enter and authors. So we have Brenda Jackson, Beverly Jenkins, Iris Bowling, Shirley Halestock, Rochelle Ehlers, Celeste O'Norfleet, some like icons of romance. Reese Ryan is coming, Robin Covington, who is local, Denny Bryce, Laquette, Cynthia Williams, Jacqueline Thomas, Vanessa Riley, Naima Simone, Mel Walker, Sherelle Green, Elle Wright, Maisie Yates, Quanah Jackson, Cheryl Lister, Andrew Gray, Sarah London, Piper Hughley, Rona D. Drinkard, Kelly Farmer, Sharice Hodges, Gina L. Maxwell, Keith Thomas Walker, Chandra Blumberg, Suleika Snyder, Tracy Livesey, Angela Seals, Tracy Garner. I love Tracy Garner. She is a fabulous, fabulous person. She was on a chapter board with me, and I love her to death. Therese M. Clark, L. Lauren, KD Richards, not Katie, Shirley Simmons, Moni Bryce, and there's two entries. Crystal Perkins, that's who else is coming. So a lot of really fabulous authors coming. So I hope you will check that out. Again, that's the Romance Readers and Writers Experience the last weekend of October. And then after that is Romance Author Mastermind. That is happening in Houston, Texas. I will be going. They are also offering in person as well as virtual experience for that conference. And I decided to go in person, even if a lot of my close friends who I knew were also signed up, even if they decided to go virtual. I want to go in person. And a lot of that is because the last time I attended, I had the head cold from hell. If I get sick prior to this conference, I will cancel my flights and be attending virtually. I will not be getting on a plane. So I'm doing my absolute best to ensure I do not get sick ahead of time. But I had the head cold from hell the last time I attended. And I just want to see what the experience is like not sick. And so, yeah, that's something I'm very, very much looking forward to, especially with the way this year has been so much positive momentum for me as a writer. And I want to see what I can glean, because I remember thinking when I first signed up at the beginning of the year, I had made the decision around this time last year that I really wanted to, if they were going to offer it again, that I was going to sign up, because I had the hope that I figured it was going to be a good push for me to actually have a book done. And I will actually have 2 books written by the time that this conference happens, which I didn't think was going to be possible, but I wanted to have at least one publishable book. I'll have at least one publishable book written. The first one, not so publishable, without a lot of work. I keep saying but anyway, it's a reward for a lot of hard work that I've done, both in terms of just actual writing, as well as the mental side of dealing with burnout. And so I am I'm feeling very proud of myself. I still have to finish this book, but I'm already feeling the effects and the positive momentum, like I said. So I am looking forward to seeing what I can learn at a romance author mastermind and then start implementing as I work towards launching the new pen name next year. One of my friends who has also attended in the past, something that she has definitely said is that it's the thing about Romance Author Mastermind, if you're not at all familiar with it, if you're not a writer, if you're not a romance writer, it is very much for romance writers. It is also for already published romance writers. So it's a lot of next level conversations, which last time I attended, I was not fully prepared to deal with all of that information in a positive way to implement it and deal with it, because I didn't realize I was in burnout at that point and how deeply I was already in burnout at that point. I am no longer in burnout. I am ready to jump with the information that I learned. And my one friend who has talked about it has said that it's most useful if you are able to put at least some of the information that you learn into practice within the next 18 months after the conference, and definitely the next 12 months. So if you are able to implement what you learn within the next 18 months, that's probably where you're going to see the most bang for your buck for attending the conference. Because here's the other thing, this conference is in no way inexpensive. It is just registration alone is the most expensive conference I will have ever attended. It's close to $1,000 is what the registration was, but and it went up this year from previous years. So it was a bit of a gut check for me to have registered for the conference without having any completed books with which to relaunch the career. But like I said, I used it as this is my reward for being able to go and attend is my reward for finishing a book. So it's like, even though I had already bought the reward, it was sitting in the back of my head that I've spent this much money. So therefore, I really need to make it worth my time and the money I've already spent to attend. So it's worth it. And then I also had to, since I'm attending in person, also had to pay for flights. I'm also paying for housing. I am splitting housing with a friend of mine. We got essentially an Airbnb type situation and are going to be staying offsite and walking in every day. Hopefully I will not have foot issues that week, but I will deal with them if I do. I carry a tennis ball with me these days to make sure my foot is fully massaged. But yeah, that's almost everything, because the one thing I did not include in what I am doing, because I keep forgetting about it again, that oh so lovely sense of time, HB90 is kicking off next Sunday for Q4 planning. So if you are an alumni of HB90, just be prepared. Next week is Q4 planning time if you want to participate along with the new crop of students. And so Sarah has the kickoff call on Sunday. And then since you're an alumni, all of the modules should be open and available to you to work through. I might just take all of the rest of the September to work my way through. I have very clear idea of what I want to be accomplishing task wise. So I don't feel as pressured to kind of come up with ideas. It's like I'm very clear where I want the next 4 months to carry me. So yeah, it's busy, and it's like I've been talking for almost 45 minutes, and I actually don't feel overwhelmed by all of this. And I think it's because I don't feel like I've overscheduled myself. And what also helps is that the day job is not in a place of turmoil like it kind of was this summer, because we had a production system changeover. We're kind of in turmoil as of right now, but my section is not. We've got a plan to move forward, and so it feels like, okay, I can just slot everything that I need to worry about for the day job within day job time, so I can tackle all of that, and it will be okay. I keep looking off to the side to see if the rain has hit here yet, and so far not yet, but I'm sure it will be soon. My plant that is living outside on the balcony will be very, very pleased for the water, because I have not watered it in the last few days. Yeah, does anyone have any questions about what I have talked about? I did have a comment on the last video about looking for, since they thought that I was good at strategic planning, or at least I seem to have a fair amount of knowledge about strategic planning, if I would do some videos about that. So I definitely am interested in that. I will give some thought as to what I can do on a live stream with you all. That will be probably similar almost to a workshop presentation. And if you have any suggestions for future videos, please definitely let me know in the comments. Just as a quick update for the weekly check-in as to how I did, I managed to get pretty much everything done last week. Saturday was a very, very busy day with an all-day day job related event that happened. So I came home and crashed for 10 hours and then took another nap yesterday to recover, and I'm still recovering. I am working on, Carrie, this is a great topic too. I'd love to hear. Here, let me pull it up on the screen so you can see. Working more about writing around your day job. I'm just going to go ahead and talk about it right here, because I have to fit in writing throughout. All this stuff is all external to the day job. I still have a full-time day job that I also have to work. And something that I have been doing for the last few weeks, and this is something that works for me, I know is not workable for everyone. The Slack group that I mentioned before, we were having very brief discussion last week about how most of the people who are active in the Slack group, and it's kind of like a check-in for writers. I'm not the administrator of that, so I can't invite people into the Slack group. But there are a lot of, if you're at all involved in romance, you would probably recognize at least some of the names of the people who are participating in it. And most of them are full-time romance authors. I am not. But the thing about a lot of these authors is that they are also, if looking at Clifton's strengths, they are high focus. So they like to deep dive into a task and spend a lot of time working on it. Whereas the thing I do, because of having the day job, having ADHD, as well as having the number 5 adaptability, is the fact that I can task switch fairly easily. So long before I knew that I had high adaptability and ADHD, I learned that I actually do well with sprints, writing sprints, and can vomit out a lot of words in those sprints. And so what I do is, during my breaks at work, I can take up to 20 minutes in the morning break and in an afternoon break. And then I also have my lunch break. I will do 15-minute sprints during those times. When I'm in the office, I bring my laptop with me. And when I'm not in the office, my laptop is here at home with me. And I will just put on my playlist of music that I have been listening to forever. It's the same songs. I will add songs to it, but I don't take songs off of it. So it's the same music. And I know as soon as I hear that repetitive music. Again, repetitive to me. And again, ADHD, this is apparently a thing, a part of ADHD. I listen to that music and it's like my brain knows that it's focus time. So it's time for me to write or time for me to work on day job stuff. If I'm having trouble focusing on getting day job stuff done, I will also listen to this playlist, but it's more often used for when I am drafting. So I'll just start playing the playlist wherever it left off, and I will set a timer for 15 minutes, and then I just type away for 15 minutes. Now, I think you can do this if you are good at task switching, if you are good at shorter sprints. I think this will work for you, whether you're a pantser, whether you're a plotter, whatever you are, and whatever your expectations of how many words you'll write is within reality, let's say. So I know for me, I can vomit out between 500 and 600, sometimes more than 600 words in 15 minutes. Do I think that those words are golden? No. I will go back and edit. I will do multiple rounds of edits because for me, I need to get the initial thoughts out on the page. But this again goes back to, I have an idea as to what I am working to accomplish in this chapter. The worksheets that I do chapter preparation 2 days a week. So it's like, I'll do those generally in the evenings or Wednesday evening after work, or because I want to spend a little bit more time thinking. And so doing a sprint isn't going to help me with this. So that's why I usually save it for the evenings on Wednesdays for the writing that I will be doing on Tuesday and Thursday. And then on the weekend, I will do the chapter prep for the writing I am planning on doing on Monday and Tuesday. So I do 3 sprints in a day. So sometimes I can do that and have those done by the time I finish the day jobs, because I will have done one in the morning on my morning break, one on my lunch break, and one in the afternoon on my afternoon break. I try to do at least one sprint during the workday on one of my breaks, because I found that if I have at least one done, it's easier for me to do the other 2 after work. And this is especially true if this is on in-office days. Those are the days that I really like to try to get all 3 done during the workday, because commuting into the office and commuting back home takes a lot out of me. However, if I can't do all 3 during the workday on the in-office days, even just having one done makes it easier. I'm already over the mental hump of, hey, let's get some writing done. So it's like I can look at it and say, oh, I've already done one, so I can at least do 2. And if I can at least have 2 done, that's even better, because I'm like, I just have to do 15 minutes when I get home. So if I can already have one done, like I said, makes it easier for me to get all 3 sprints done in the day. I have been a lot better this time around. I think that is because the process of doing this chapter prep worksheet for myself. And again, for me, what that means is I just have quick notes as to what is the goal of the chapter scene, whose point of view is this in, what are the story plot points that I want to hit in this chapter. What are the story butter stuff? If you're at all familiar with Theodora Taylor's 7-Figure Fiction, she talks about butter. So what are the things that make it really kind of fun and juicy and tasty as a reader? If you're familiar with Jennifer Lynn Barnes and writing for your id, I have a list of like, all right, so how am I going to accomplish these id points? What's going to get me excited about writing this chapter? I will say for this current book, there's a lot of puppy time. I am loving the puppies that I've put into this book. So just trying to figure out what I want to make sure I cover, like what are the emotional, the development of the romance, what are those beat points, and things that will get me, that will hit those beat points, the actions. So all of that, like I was explaining this to, again, one of my friends in that writer Slack that I mentioned, and she's like, oh, I just call that like noting down the beat points. And so it's, to me, it's very loose plotting. It's not like I want this to happen and this to happen and this to happen and this to happen. I don't do that. I just try to, as I think about what I think needs to happen in the upcoming chapter, I'll get some ideas and I just try to write at most a sentence down, and I do handwrite it. So that seems to help things. So Carrie, that's pretty much how I work around my day job. If you need more like focus time, to spend a lot more time within your, oh, thank you. And again, this is something that I've just learned. I started paying attention to sprints and how productive or not I was. And that's how I found that 15 minutes is my sweet spot. 25 minutes is the standard Pomodoro sprint. That is too long for me. Again, high adaptability, ADHD, that means my brain will start wandering right around the 16-minute mark. So it actually starts wandering even before the 15 minutes is over, but it's like, I'll look down and I'm like, okay, I'm really close to the sprint being over. Let me just keep typing. So that's how I just experimenting with different lengths with timers is how I discovered my sweet spot. So, and because I like know that playlist will like get my brain in the mood, because it's, when you have routines set up, that will, even with ADHD, I know ADHD generally doesn't like routines, but I figured out the routine that does work for me. And so it's really paying attention to your brain, how you work, and all of that wonderful stuff. I would also say, here's something else that I literally realized last night. Again, this is strengths based. I'm number one, empathy. And something I've realized that I do very well with is being in groups with high achieving authors, especially ones who have a lot of high executing strengths, because my one high executing strength is a reactive strength. It's restorative. So it's good for like things like editing, things that I'm like, oh, that needs to be fixed. It's not great for, let's just do this thing in the first place. It's like, it needs something to respond to. And so I don't have a lot of the proactive executing strengths. Those are extremely low for me. And yet I've been very, very good with getting a lot of this initial work done. And the reason I've been good with that is because I'm number one, empathy, and I am surrounding myself with other writers who are very high executing, and they are very productive. It's like, and not all of them at the same time, but as a group, it's a very productive group. It is a group that it really challenges me to work to be at a higher level than where I'm currently at. And so I feed off of that. And so what you might want to consider is finding an accountability partner where you check in every week, or finding another group of authors where it's like, you can say, these are my goals. And again, it may be full accountability, but even just talking about what you hope to accomplish and whether or not you accomplish, but it'll get you moving. So, and again, I come from a place of somebody who is really good with, has very strong relationship building strengths, very strong. So I tend to think about that kind of thing. But yeah, so I would say, try if you need a lot more time to focus, try to find the pockets in your day where you can have more time. So especially if you are in need of that. So, and oh, great. Accountability. It is a huge help. Wonderful to hear. And then we have another question from Julia as, have I done Sarah's sprint challenge where you try writing at different times? Julia, I haven't done this because I did this like 9 years ago. With me just experimenting. I think if you were suggesting maybe Carrie, this is another, if you haven't already done the work to figure out what your ideal sprint time is, Sarah Cannon does have a sprint challenge where it will basically work you through everything that I did without guidance. So she provides guidance. If you need guidance, go see Sarah. She's excellent for that. And she does have this great challenge. And I did not look at it. I saw that she had it and I was like, oh, that's wonderful. I've already done that. It's like, I am not looking to change my ideal time. I know 15 minutes is my sweet spot. And so I'm sticking with that because that is what works. If that were to no longer work for some reason, then I would take myself through that challenge to figure out what my new time is. It could be as low as 10 minutes. That's okay. It really is figuring out where you have the space to achieve your goals. And this is something else that, and Carrie, might be time. Yeah, it might be time to do it again. If what had been working for you is no longer working, then take a look and see what you need to do to change things up. Something I will say, and this is based on something that Becca Symes said during, I believe, one of her topical calls. So if you're on the Patreon at I think it's the insiders level where you have access to the topical calls. I think this was the call on sustainability. So last month, August, something that came up during that call, and I don't want to get too deep into it because it's something that's only available to her Patreon community. But I have a feeling this is something she will probably talk about and probably has talked about to some degree on her YouTube channel. And that is how burnout is where what your reality is different from what your expectations are. So your expectations are up here, but your reality is up here. And this space is where burnout happens. So if your expectations are really up here, but your reality is really, that's a lot of space that it gives you way too much room for burnout. So it may be that you need to adjust what your expectations are closer to reality. So again, like maybe even down here, if you can't like have them equal, get them down to like as close to reality as possible with a little bit of stretch in order to achieve them. Not like having to do a 30 meter high jump with a pole vault. There we go. Where you don't have to do the pole vault in order to go from reality to your expectations. Because burnout will yank you so fast into its jaws if you are consistently trying to work towards expectations that are not in any way close to what your actual reality is. So if your expectations are that you should be able to write and publish, because you can write 12 books in a year, you may not be able to publish them all in a year. But if your expectations are to write and publish 12 books in a year, but your reality is, like I said, you might be able to write 12, but you can only publish 3. From 3 to 12 is a whole huge jump. So I am trying to keep my expectations of myself and my reality as close to possible. And that's one of the reasons why I was working through some strategic planning for myself for the next few years, and getting an idea as to what my current pace of writing is. And right now, I think I should be able be reasonable and sustainable of publishing 3 full novels in a year and possibly a novella. And there are some other business things where you can create new products. So, and that's just putting out the ebook. So there's always, do I have time to do a paperback? Do I have time to do a hardback? Do I have time to do large print? Do I have time to do audio? And also money for audio. Do I have time and space to create a whole new product and bundle together related books? So that's all something that we can discuss further on, but it's like creating whole new stories, like initial products. I think I can do 3 full books, full novels a year plus a novella. We'll see. I will take the next 18 months to see what that actual process is and see if that is sustainable. And if it's not, then I will readjust my expectations and my business goals. So that's where I'm at currently. So we've been going for over an hour. Carrie and Julia and Dee and Christina. Thank you, Katrina, sorry. Thank you all so much for participating in the live chat. If you are on the replay crew, hello, thank you for joining us. I hope you will leave any comments in the comments below, such as future video ideas, things that you would love to hear me talk about, anything that is on your mind. I apologize for the audio issues at the start. Hopefully we'll be able to get those sorted out. Next video, I am hoping to try to do one this coming Saturday, which is September 10th. We will see. I have to check my schedule. So if you are subscribed, you should get notified when I have set that up. If you're not subscribed, please do, so that you'll get notified when I have set up the next live stream. And thank you all so much for being here today, and may all your dreams be Ruby dreams. Bye-bye, and have a lovely, fun day.